you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I've already had my Red Bull, and now for the first time on Coffee and Crime, I'm actually drinking coffee because I had a baby Red Bull, and I need a little more than that, a little more pick me up than that. But I did get some really delicious coffee, and it's really cool, you guys. Like, I'd never seen coffee like this. It's like coffee bags, like they're like tea bags. And yeah, I just put the bag in my cup, put it under the Keurig, and ran just hot water and let it set for like 5 minutes. And it's super delicious. But anyways, thank you guys for being here, and good morning. Hey, Pointer Lover. Hey, Mayla's mom, Woofy. How are you awake and functioning? Red Bull doesn't do it. I'm changing because I would never used to be like this, but I'm changing and growing. Hey, Rocco. Oh, Music City Mom. Well, it's nice to see you guys this morning. Hey, Rexy. Hey, Christine. Hey, Cammie. Pointer Lover. Mayla's mom. Hey, Hippie Chick. Hey, Amy. Ama Lama Ding Dong. Hey, Rexy. Wait, I think I said hi to you, but double hello. Hey, Bushy. Mayla's mom, thank you for sending me some of the stuff we're going to look at today. And then Neat sent us some, and Tess as well. And then some are just a couple other things I grabbed. But today we're going to be talking about really no cases that I already knew about. Like, some days we might talk about if there is a big update in a case that we already know about, we're already talking about today. Well, actually, I do want to touch on an update regarding the school shooter in Georgia at one point. But other than that, I think everything are newer cases that need to be heard. That's why I titled it The Horrific Cases You're Not Hearing About, But You Should Be. We're not hearing about it because I do it too. So many, like, I don't know, we get stuck in just researching the same cases and stuff like that, or listening to the same stuff on the same cases. And yeah, it's important so to talk about all of them. So that's what we're going to do today. Happy birthday to Lil Red. I don't think she's here yet. Hey, Bendy. Hey, Kim. Hey, Christina. Anybody that I missed? Hey, Sarah, Teacup. Hope. Good to see you guys. Hey, Shelly Beans. Hey, Slink. Good morning. I did see that, Mayla's mom. Have you seen they found human remains close to where Elijah Vu's blanket was found? I did, and I actually had grabbed one article on that as well. So I guess that's one. I didn't cover that, and I don't know too much about it, but I know many of you guys have followed along. Many people care very much. Thank God he was found, if it is him. But we'll start with that, actually, and then we're going to work our way through a few things I want to talk to you about today. So, Two Rivers police find... hold on just one second. Okay. I had to check on the door and the dog because I heard a funky sound. Two Rivers police find child skeletal remains believed to potentially belong to missing child Elijah Vu. Police in Two Rivers believe that a cold case revolving around a missing child may be coming to a grim end following a possible break in the case over the weekend. So I think, I had surface level looked into this situation. I do remember like the toddler boot camp, a couple little details, but I don't know it very well. According to sources who spoke to radio talk show host Dan O'Donnell, Two Rivers investigators located the remains of a small child in a remote area of Girl Scout Camp Manitou, Two Rivers on Sunday, which early indications point to belonging to missing 4-year-old Elijah Vu, who has been missing since February 20th. The report further stated that a diaper was found with the skull and other remains, which were confirmed to be human, and authorities are continuing to work towards positively identifying the remains. The camp is located near the home of Vu's mother, Katrina Bohr, and her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, who was the last to see Vu alive. Both Bohr and Vang are facing charges of child neglect and deny that they had anything to do with Vu's disappearance, claiming that he wandered off on his own. Back in July, Boer requested for her bail to be dropped from $15,000 to $5,000, which was denied when the judge, who stated during the hearing, "I don't think $5,000 is a sufficient amount, given the nature of what's been alleged here and what the court knows from the complaint, to keep someone appearing for court when they are supposed to." Vu's father, Jimmy, spoke during Boer's bond hearing and asked the judge to deny her request, saying, "I would like to ask you to deny bail based on the fact my son is still missing. We need answers, and I think Katrina has the answer." Can you imagine? Like, that poor father. My God, you guys. The Two Rivers Police Chief, Ben Maynard, had quickly discredited online rumors back in June that hinted that officials had found him, saying in a statement on Facebook, "Recently, rumors surfaced on social media platforms stating Elijah has been found. This is not true, and the spreading of false and misleading information is disrespectful to the family of Elijah and detracts from our efforts in locating him." In recent months, investigators offered a $40,000 reward, and then the FBI offered to contribute $15,000, while Crime Stoppers offered to contribute another $10,000. So I'm glad he's been found, but just sad. He was found by a hunter. So I saw that. Hey, Chicken Lady. Grizzly True Crime actually had posted something this morning. Let me read that to you guys, because I thought it was good, because there was a lot of information. So it says, "Not yet confirmed as Elijah Vu's remains. A child's remains were discovered close to his mother's home. He was last seen February 20th, 2024, when he was 3 years old. His 4th birthday was on August 25th. Aw, one day after mine. And that's so sad. He just had his 4th birthday, was celebrated in his absence during a community event at the park in Appleton. His mother and her boyfriend were arrested in February and are in jail at this time, facing charges of child neglect. The remains were found by a local deer hunter who immediately notified law enforcement. The Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office says this is an ongoing investigation and will be a lengthy process." Excuse me, you guys. And then she quoted what we just read about spreading misinformation and stuff like that. And I think that she's linked a live stream where she went over the backstory. So if anybody is interested in that, hey, Rando, good morning. Mom lives 2 hours away. Oh, wow. From where it was found? I thought that it said it was near Mom's home, because that was in the article too, and then in Grizzly's post. I don't know, you guys. Do you all remember the case where the 3 little girls went missing at a Girl Scouts camp in the 70s? This made me think of that. I've never heard of that, Kimberly, but good to see you this morning. Hey, Zoe. We don't know for sure if it's him. Hey, Nadia. Well, okay, we're about to get into a case. I'm just going to warn you guys. You know, I go back and forth with how I feel about trigger warnings with true crime. I think that it should be implied in the fact that what we're talking about is real humans going through the worst times of their lives. I try to do it in a respectful way. I'm not going to sit around and just gossip, things like that. But some of these cases are a little tougher to hear than others. I don't know about you guys, but if you were here over the weekend when we went through Jen Soto's new interview, I was talking yesterday to people on Patreon, and I was just saying, like, it has stuck with me. It's all I could think about all day yesterday, and some of this stuff is really tough to take in. It's good to know the truth of what's going on. I would rather know than put my head in the sand and not know what the hell's going on out there. But, I don't know. It's infuriating. Yeah, it is. Sunday Doodles. I like the new name. Zoe Bay says, half an hour away near my home. Boo sheet. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Okie. Good to see you guys. Remains were found near where the boyfriend lived. Okay, Mom lives 2 hours away. Thank you, Mel. Oh, I miss you too, Tiff, and I bet a lot of the people here do. Good to see you. Well, okay. We're all adults and it is true crime. People can't expect story in puppies and kittens. I agree. And, sometimes I think trigger warning should be implied, but then again, some cases are more sensitive than others. And this one is a tough one to hear about. So I think we're going to start with this one because it was dated one day previous to another article I want to look at. And then I have a video. Of course, I think that here, let's just start and I'll read through it. Chance Crawford death. OC community traumatized after 6-year-old allegedly tortured by barber. While his mom was working overnight shift at a hospital, which that must be an incredibly hard job. This is just so sad. So Ernest Lamar Love proclaimed to be a man of God. In a social media post, he said, "God is so good, and if you're obedient and you do what he's telling you to do, you're going to change lives." But now, Love stands accused of a crime so horrific that it is hard to reconcile with the person his community knew. Love is accused of torturing and killing 6-year-old Chance Crawford, a crime that is nothing short of evil. "It's every working parent's worst nightmare," said Kimberly Eds, the Orange County District Attorney's Office spokesperson. She says Love, a barber by trade in Placentia, had been babysitting 6-year-old Chance. His mother had dropped him off at around 6:30 p.m. so she could head to work as a nurse's assistant at the night shift at the hospital. 3 hours later, when the boy soiled his pants, Love allegedly subjected him to a violent, torturous punishment that led to his death. Reminded me of Harmony Montgomery. The barber is accused of beating the little boy so violently that pieces of his flesh were falling off his body, says Eds. He then doused the boy's open wounds with hydrogen peroxide before forcing him to do push-ups, sit-ups, and jumping jacks until he collapsed. Sonia and Dr. Jason Welsh, members of Amazing Church in Lake Elsinore, were at the hospital with Chance, his mother, Sherilyn, and Love. All were members of the same church. They recall that Love initially claimed that Chance had an accident. He said Chance had socks on, was doing jumping jacks, and hit his head. But the severity of Chance's injuries made Love's story hard to believe. "When I got there, you could just see the bulging on the side of his face. For me, it looked like more than just a fall," Welsh said. Sonia and Jason have known Ernest for over a decade, and he had served as a minister at their church. And they say everyone trusted him. "The church is traumatized," says Dr. Welch. "Everybody is crying. We're grieving for Chance. We're consoling Charlene, and we're left wondering," I called her Sherilyn. I apologize for that. "And then we're left wondering what happened to Ernest. It feels like we are losing 3 people to this tragedy." Love has been charged with 1 felony count of murder. One second, you guys. I apologize. The car came really close and it was going to be super loud. So Love has been charged with 1 felony count of murder, 1 felony count of torture, and 1 felony count of child abuse causing death. If convicted of all charges, he faces a maximum sentence of 32 years to life in prison. A GoFundMe page has been set up for his mom, and we're going to go to that. If you're looking to help, you can click here. So, justice for Chance Crawford, the boy with a beautiful smile. And that's so true. What a beautiful child. Okay, I am going to link the GoFundMe in the chat, and then I'll read it to you guys if anybody is interested in helping or checking it out for themselves or whatever. Okay, you guys, I apologize about that. So he was 6, PB&J, 6 years old. Okay. So, hello, this is the family of Chance Crawford. Chance was a loving, sweet little boy with a beautiful smile. He was always happy, always kind, and always polite. Chance would light up any room he walked in. He loved watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and Sesame Street. He was smart, inquisitive, and a great artist. Chance started drawing pictures of his favorite character, Mickey Mouse, and they looked like they came from a Disney movie. He was a gifted child and had so much life to live. We're devastated by the loss of our beautiful, sweet, kind, bright, and shining star. This pain is horrible, and our family will never recover from the loss. A sweet little boy was taken from us too soon. We thank you for any help you can provide. And we're going to watch a video with Mom. But first, I want to come back to the next article. Look, let's just watch this together for a second. One second. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, Stephanie and Chicken Lady and PB&J and anybody that I missed.
Kill.
What kind of monster are you?
This is killing us slowly.
We're getting heartbreaking new details on the death of this 6-year-old boy. Prosecutors say the babysitter, a Placentia barber, beat the boy to death with a piece of lumber. He's facing charges of murder and torture. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo live now at a park in Cerritos, where the family held a vigil tonight. Tim, this is a tough one to even imagine.
It is awful any way you cut it. As you mentioned, the vigil was held here tonight. They specifically picked this park because that is where that little boy Chance had his 5th birthday party, a Mickey Mouse themed party. Obviously, much different circumstances here this evening. You see behind me some of the candles still lit and the wax that melted, spelling out, "Chance, we love you." The family tells me that it's been a roller coaster of emotion the last couple of days, the last few hours, especially when they learned the disturbing details of that little boy's death.
A tearful goodbye to 6-year-old Chance Crawford as a grieving family tries to remember him in happier times.
Oh, sweetest kid, you know, he's a bundle of joy.
Tell the truth, I'll read through this article attached with the video to try to bring you up to speed after the video.
Amid the tears, there's anger as Chance's family just found out the cruel and brutal details of his death.
It hit me like a ball of fire, bro, and man, it's just been tragic.
Last Thursday night, Chance's mom went to work an overnight shift at the hospital and dropped off Chance to be babysat by a close friend of hers, someone apparently she met at church. At 1 a.m, that man, 41.
A man she met at church who she would never think would hurt her baby. And not only that, as a mom working overnight at a hospital, that is a tough job. Not only is it a tough job, but then you're having to leave your babies overnight. I just cannot imagine. It's a tough situation, and just a mom trying to do her best, right, to provide. But, oh.
1-year-old Ernest Lamar Love carried little Chance, who was unconscious and barely breathing, into the ER at Children's Hospital of Orange County, claiming he fell.
It was a little suspicious because there was a lot of police activity.
The Orange County District Attorney's Office says it was far worse. They believe Love tortured and beat that little boy because he wet his pants at the park. Investigators say they have video of Love walking into the barbershop he owned, carrying a large piece of lumber with Chance reluctantly following behind. Once inside, Love allegedly beat him so badly with that large piece of wood, flesh was missing from Chance's butt.
Like, how can someone...
With Chance reluctantly walking with him. So in the video, you see him with the piece of lumber. I didn't watch this video when I was trying to. So Neat had sent me several articles on this, and I read through a couple of them. But, you know, for me anyways, just reading through something once or twice, it doesn't really stick. I need to really go like this with you guys, watch this stuff, read multiple articles, and then all the pieces start kind of sticking and coming together. But I do believe that's the first I'd heard they had him on video carrying the piece of lumber, walking into his barbershop, Chance reluctantly following behind, which, what happened prior to that? Why was he reluctant? Like, it just makes me wonder. Someone put in chat, nobody knows how long this had been going on. Those are my thoughts too. That's awful.
That's portrayed to be so much of a saint can do this to a innocent young child that's only 6 years old.
It somehow gets worse. The DA's office says after the beating, Love poured hydrogen peroxide on the open wounds and then made the 6 push-ups, sit-ups, and jumping jacks until he collapsed. Horrifying details the family can't get out of their heads.
Was he running? Was he screaming? You know, things like that.
Chance was in a coma since Friday and was declared brain dead on Tuesday, so the family took him off life support. Love has now been charged with murder and torture, and Chance's father hopes he's convicted and spends decades in prison.
And so it's just not fair. So, yes, I'm hoping that justice is served.
Unbelievable, you guys.
You know, Chance had just started the first grade. This happened after his third day of school. The family that was out here, dozens of them, equally frustrated over the fact that they believe the mom could have called any one of them to watch him that night.
Okay. So now let's go over here. Here is mother speaks out after OC Barber charged with.
6-year-old boy beaten to death with a piece of lumber is speaking exclusively to ABC7. Her son's babysitter, Ernest Love, is charged with murder and torture. Orange County reporter David Gonzalez has the heartbreaking story.
I was genuinely blindsided. You know, I trusted him with my son.
Charlene Sefour's heart is crushed, knowing the person she believed would take care of her son, Chance Crawford.
Look how beautiful they are. Not that it matters, but just precious. So sad.
Instead, caused them unimaginable pain.
He died a brutal death. It was brutal. He did not deserve to go out that way.
Yes. You did that, man. See that? There's going to be a lot of stuff you're scared of, but it don't matter. You got to push through it.
Okay.
This is one of the many videos Ernest Lamar Love
Oh my God, you guys. Oh.
sent to Chance's mom anytime he babysat.
He came in my son's
Oh
life.
my gosh. Let's watch that again. This poor
You did that, man. See that? There's going to be a lot of stuff you're scared of, but it don't matter. You got to push through it.
Okay.
This is one of the many videos Ernest Lamar Love sent to Chance's mom anytime he babysat.
He came in my son's life just as a male figure. He taught him things. He helped him overcome certain fears that my son had.
But on August 30th, Sefour's life began to crumble after she dropped Chance off at Love's barbershop in Placentia before heading off to work at St. Joseph's Hospital.
How do you hurt somebody so little? I just don't get it. I just truly do not. And, you know, I don't know. I'm sad that every major news company isn't blasting this. I'm sad that Banfield isn't blasting it. Maybe she did last night. I don't know. I don't keep up with like that with News Nation. But when you see something like this, you just have, it's infuriating that it doesn't get more coverage. It doesn't get more attention. Thank God there has been some where they've raised $16,000 on the GoFundMe to try to help with any expenses. But I don't know.
Later that night, Love called to tell her he was rushing Chance to the hospital.
He did tell me that he was doing jumping jacks. He had him working out and he fell and hit his head. And that's what's hard for me because I believed him when he told me.
Prosecutors say Love had beat the 6-year-old with the...
Of course you would, though. You know, you think this man is a godly man and, you know, go to church together, and he sends you videos like this where he's giving him a pep talk. Anything we're scared of, that's okay. You just push through, you know, whatever he said. God, this poor mother.
piece of lumber for wetting his pants at a park, then poured hydrogen peroxide on the open wounds and forced him to exercise until he collapsed.
How could you do this to a child? Like, it doesn't warrant what happened.
Love, who went by Azariah, was part of Amazing.
Look at him there.
church in Lake Elsinore as a minister and prophet.
He did the right things. He helped people move. He helped give advice. Like he's, help people, start businesses.
But he had been suspended from his roles due to inappropriate behavior with women. They never suspected he would be capable of doing what he's accused of.
Wow. Suspended from his roles due to inappropriate behavior with women. Teacup, he had been kicked out of the church by this point. Apparently. Let's keep listening.
We poured so much into him and he failed us. He failed us. He failed our faith. He failed us. He failed Charlene.
Most importantly, they say he failed Chance. Chance died on Tuesday after being declared brain dead and taken off life support.
I want justice for my son because he did not deserve that.
This is just an absolutely heartbreaking story. Now Chance's mother is urging other single mothers out there to be extra vigilant as to who watches their children so something like this never ever happens to them.
Oh my God almighty. I can't help but think of Maddie when I hear that last part. This is the worst part about it though, you guys. Happens to Maddie with mom's friend / boyfriend freak that's been around for years. Happens to this little boy by a man that appeared, but all, many people thought he was a good man, maybe a womanizer, okay, but definitely not capable of this. You send him to daycare. We hear stories of it happening at freaking daycare. I don't know. So Tess had also sent me an article on this, and I didn't see it until this morning, but I went ahead and forwarded it over to myself. Let's look at this and see if we can find anything extra in this. Any extra photos or anything like that. So the DA's office announced the charges on Wednesday. Again, Love is 41. He's been charged with 1 felony count of murder, 1 felony count of torture, 1 felony count of child abuse causing death, the DA said in a news release. If convicted on all the charges, he will face a maximum sentence of 32 years to life in prison plus 5 more years. He pled not guilty, no bond. Chance passed away September the 3rd. That was last Tuesday. Again, the video of a reluctant Chance following him inside the barber shop. The release says that doctors at CHOC discovered that much of Chance's flesh was missing from his buttocks, leaving raw, gaping wounds along with subdural hematoma, extreme brain swelling, and other injuries consistent with violent shaking. The little boy also had a healing fracture on his shoulder blade, states the release. A healing fracture. Prosecutors allege in the statement that Love beat the boy with the lumber and then poured hydrogen peroxide on his wounds. Afterwards, Love allegedly forced the 6-year-old to do push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks before the child collapsed, according to the statement. Love then took the boy to the emergency room around 1:30 a.m. local time, the statement alleges. The DA said words do not exist to describe the absolute terror this little boy was forced to endure, all at the hands of someone who was supposed to be protecting him, not torturing him to death. So full disclosure, I hadn't read through this article yet. I read through a few of the other ones, but I ran across it this morning. Tess sent me a bunch of different People articles, and we're going to look at a couple more in a little bit. So there's some new, some things that stick out to me I didn't pick up before. Let me see. Which was this release from doctors at the hospital, in that much detail describing the wounds. And then a healing fracture on his shoulder blade. I'm curious what that is about. Here is the GoFundMe link in the chat, though, you guys. I'm going to drop it one more time. Hey, Roro, I wonder how many accidents Chance had while he was being babysit. Yep. Teacup, I thought the same thing hearing that about the healing fracture. And thank you, Tess, for sending this to me. And thank you, Neat and Mayla's mom, because we're going to talk about a case that you brought up during the live the other night, Mayla's mom. California has softened up on their punishments. Yeah, working out a 6-year-old. Yeah, if pee, blood, vomit bother you, don't have kids. You're not mature enough. All kids have accidents. Exactly. I mean, I won't put all my kids' business out there, but it's completely normal and yeah, just frustrating. It's not the first we've heard of somebody freaking out on their child because of an accident. It's pretty damn ridiculous. This is so sad, though, you guys. He was probably having the accidents because he was having anxiety being around this man that he wasn't sure he could actually trust. Hey, Mally. Good morning. I agree, hippie chicken. I hope you're doing okay. All right. Now, let me get some of the other things I want to talk to you guys about. We'll keep an eye on this, though. I want to follow this closely. As a matter of fact, I may try to post a small standalone video. I feel like that baby's face should be everywhere, and mom, and her GoFundMe. You know, I don't know. I'll never get over how unfair it is that some cases get coverage while others don't. And I don't know. It's something that bothers me to the core. I probably mention it way too much, far too much. But before we get into Kimberly Singler, which she is another monster, just disgusting, who took the life of 2 of her kids, attacked another one of her kids who survived, but was able to be a witness and describe what she did to her kids. And it's horrific. And then she ran to the UK, and they're now trying to get her back to the US. I want to talk about that with you guys in a moment. But first, let's talk about this, because this is something that's really important to me to talk about on this channel. Anytime we do something like these lives where we go through so many different cases, not always are they, you know, where someone has lost their lives. A lot of times we talk about teachers that are hurting students, babysitters, daycare workers, things like that. And that is super important to me. Coaches that are hurting children. I think that, yeah, it's just something I want to talk about, because we send our kids to school and now we have to worry. We see like these school shootings. After something like that happens, like, tell me, moms, do you not think about like, damn, man, like every day you send your kid off to school and that's not really in your mind, but it's always a possibility and it's scary. But these things are always a possibility too. Anytime that you're trusting other adults to watch your children or be around your children without you there, right? So star athlete turned school security officer admits to sexually abusing students, avoids jail time. Jamel Bradley, 45, pled guilty to sexually abusing 2 students in Columbia, South Carolina. A South Carolina school security officer, you know, there to keep you safe, was excused of prison time after pleading guilty to having sexual relationships with 2 students between 2015 and 2018. Jamel Bradley, 45, a former deputy in Richland County, South Carolina, was given probation in order to join the sex offender registry after pleading guilty on Tuesday, September 3rd, per the Associated Press, the state, and another news organization. No jail time. Join the registry. Because that protects us, you know, because all these people who, you know, many times when we talk about, let's think about what happened out in, let me see, last year, there was a case that was in my brain, but I can't think of where it was off the top of my head. Come on, brain, work for me. Where the man had been in trouble for sex crimes, literally was committing sex crimes in prison, gets out to murder his girlfriend and her children and their friends. but it's not coming to my brain where. But regardless, it happens all the time. Many cases we talk about are just people who have been in trouble for this and been released. I think I'm sorry, I just don't see rehabilitation for any of these monsters, and I don't know the answer, but it's frustrating. The original charges he faced were third-degree criminal sexual conduct and sexual battery with a student 16 or 17 years of age. No aggravated force or coercion, the Richland County online case portal shows. These charges could have led up to 15 years in prison. However, following a deal with authorities, he pled guilty to sexual battery with one student and assault and battery of the first degree against another student, online court records show. I know mom's name was Holly. I just can't think of the perpetrator's name. But yes, out in the Midwest somewhere. I was thinking Oklahoma too, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And the amount of teachers that have been in the news for essaying students, I know, PB&J, you're so right. It's awful. Jin, I don't know, but this is something they should not be soft over, in my opinion. What's he going to do now? He's free. Won't be surprised if he goes on to commit more crimes, and probably I could see them getting worse. I don't know. So the investigation revealed he was a popular school resource officer who lured female students from his place of employment and met with them in his office or his patrol car, per the state, citing evidence presented in the case. Bradley is a former basketball player for the University of South Carolina, where he was the team's leading scorer as a junior and senior, per the Associated Press. He was first charged in 2019 in connection with a sexual misconduct involving a 17-year-old student. In 2015, a student at the high school where Bradley worked told authorities she had what she said was a consensual relationship with him during her senior year. These freaks that go, that are attracted to kids and teenagers and they go on to work at schools, it's the perfect place for them to work. And I remember being in high school and having teachers and coaches like this who would flirt with all of us. Matter of fact, one of the teachers at my school, who was one of the biggest pervs, biggest freaks, like 5-10 years after I graduated, the school had to pay out millions of dollars in lawsuits because he was having relationships with middle schoolers. Because like the high school and middle school that I went to, they were right next to each other. And oftentimes the teachers would move back and forth. I think he worked at both, but yeah, and I remember him hitting on my friends and stuff. It's crazy. This is not uncommon. I would almost bet that many of you guys in here had teachers at your school. No wonder kids want to be homeschooled, Alicia says. Henrietta is where it happened. Sorry. That just popped in my brain. But yeah, the case we were talking about. I think his name was Jesse. But I could be putting more than one together, more than one case together or something like that. So on another occasion, so he has consensual relationship in 2015. Another relationship in 2019. In 2018, on another occasion, he went to a female student's home after school hours, drove her to a dead end, and began kissing and touching her, per the assistant solicitor, Catherine Kavanaugh, from WIS 10 reported. During his plea, he apologized to his victims, per the Associated Press. Just disgusting. I don't know what the answer is, you guys. I don't know how we keep our kids safe. I really don't know. We had multiple creep teachers. Yes, Kimberly, and staff at my high school. Yep. When I was in high school, the band teacher was sleeping with 4 students. Oh my God. Mom found a journal and turned it in. Yeah, Bushi, we can. Hey, little Red. Happy birthday. We absolutely can, Bushi. I saw that short she put out. We'll take a look at that together. Jesse McFadden. Thank you, Pointer Lover. I literally was thinking in my head, like, I thought maybe you would remember. So that's funny that you did. Yeah, you guys send some birthday love to Lil Red. Some of these child think it's consensual. However, I don't think it can ever be consensual until the age of 18 and graduated from high school, no matter what the law says. It can't be. I'm sorry, but our brains are not developed until mid-20s. There's just no way. It can't be. Okay, so let me see here. Actually, since I have YouTube pulled up, I could probably play that short quickly. Now, you guys, if you missed this weekend, we went over this entire interview. But Grizzly uploaded just this clip into a short. She also has the interview with no commentary. I think True's going to upload it as well from Criminality. We had a good discussion afterwards about many different cases. So if you missed that, definitely go check it out. But here's a text that came out during this interview that is concerning. I'm going to drop Grizzly's link in the chat, but let's watch her video. I talked about this yesterday during Patreon. We were sitting around and I was telling him, like, I can't stop thinking about this. Shoot. Sorry. And what does this freaking mean? What does this mean? So here. I'll drop the link in the chat.
June 16th of last year at 9:30 p.m. and 27 seconds, you texted Stefan this: Maddie's no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
How often was Maddie sleeping with you?
I have no idea.
Often, all the time.
Well, you keep on saying often versus all the time. Was it 100% of the time or not 100% of the time?
If she wasn't with my mom and she was with me, then yeah, she was sleeping with me.
Okay. And if she's at mom, she's 100% of the time sleeping with mom?
How do you not know what that text is about? I can't risk it. And let's see. I think she did one more. I didn't see this one.
The one morning Maddie wouldn't wake up and get ready for school, and she was just out of it. I assumed it was medication related, but I didn't realize. I'm like, did this one medication hit her too hard because we gave it to her late? I called poison control. I needed to see what would happen. Because at this point, I think I had gotten Stefan to admit that he gave her a second dose of sleeping meds as well.
At this point, I got Stefan to admit he gave her a second dose of sleeping meds. Jen called poison control. It was also discussed in this interview, marijuana pills that Maddie could have potentially gotten into. And they asked Jen, did she text Stefan about it? And one of the most concerning things that I cannot stop thinking about, they asked Jen about Maddie getting her period. And if she noticed that she didn't get it in February, and if she noticed that she didn't use any feminine products in February. And I don't know, you guys, Grizzly has like where people can write their thoughts regarding that, the poison control. And then she asked, what could that mean? Can't risk what? I'm really curious, what do you guys think? That we were talking about it yesterday. What does that mean? What could that mean? You can't Maddie is no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. But you can risk her sleeping with Stefan. Lil Red asked, is that one of the days I marked on the calendar? Let's go see. June 16th, 2023. So here's our calendars. These are the dates that Stefan was charged with crimes happening on these dates, like pulled from his long list of the first charges he got regarding the stuff found in his phone. Let's see, because I don't know. 2023, no. Well, maybe. Oh, look here. So the text happened June 16th, but one of the dates was June 14th, 2023. Maddie can no longer sleep with me. I can't risk it. Hey, Claus. Good morning. Good morning, Alex and everyone. Sorry late. Have somewhere important to be soon, so can be here for a little bit to show support. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and hope everything's okay, and I hope you have a great day. What's Flag Day, Wolfie? The 16th? Oh, 14th, yeah. And Donald Trump's birthday, and a friend of mine's birthday. I don't know who, but that's true. But that's interesting. That date, the text happens 2 days after one of his charges is from photos that happened on June the 14th. Oh, it's your sister's birthday too, Lil Red? Oh, and Tiffany's birthday too. It's Wolfie's birthday. I'm going to go ahead and snitch her out. I think if the laws in that state say you can legally marry at the age of 17 and no one under can do anything, which is pathetic to me. Boo sheet, I do believe so. I do believe so. Now, I was told, Sleuthy was in the chat that night. You guys, if you missed that, going through that interview, and Jen and Teresa came up and we had a great discussion. Like I said, Sleuthy was in the chat giving us information as we went. She said at one point that in the state of Florida, they do charge for children, if the mom's pregnant, that can result in its own murder charge, separate from mom. However, if the pregnancy isn't viable and the baby couldn't survive on its own at that point, then no, they won't. So I don't think that we would know. If they have a trial, I think that will come out. It is interesting. It came out in the interview. I don't know what to make of it, you guys. I just don't know. Rando, interesting. She says, I thought she just meant risk not getting enough sleep. I can't risk it. That's weird to say, though, about sleep. Oh, Sparkles, Wolfie's birthday is June 14th, but Lil Red's is today. Sorry, I was probably confusing. Look, I was, because I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to go back and watch Allie. Yeah, it was here on Saturday. Hey, Angela, good morning. Yeah, Wolfie, that live we did regarding those photos getting released was not mean at all. Matter of fact, we raised a lot of money for Gannon through one of those fundraiser lives. Not for Gannon, in memory of him. I think it was for National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. I don't know, because we've done a couple of those. But no, I thought that it was a really good discussion. But oh, do you, chicken lady? That's exciting. Okay, you guys. So we have one more I want to show you about that's pretty tough. Sparkles. Well, unhappy. Okay, so this was brought up during that live. We were talking about all the upcoming trials and stuff like that. So this case happened last year, and I do remember when it happened. We may have talked about it. I remember seeing it, but it's current because she's fighting extradition now. So let me just grab the article and we'll look at it together. Mayla's mom brought this up, actually, which thank you, because I want to talk about it. I think this is important. My goal is to go through lots and lots and lots of unknown cases each week, missing people, just things that are important to talk about, other than a lot of the big things that we hear about, which it's important. Oh my gosh, you guys. A hummingbird just came up like so close to me and just like, whew, it scared me. That was strange. It came so close to me and just like floated like in its spot or whatever. But yeah, I do want to talk about, sorry, I couldn't help it. It just was like right here in my face and took my attention. But I do want to talk about these things that are not getting talked about as much. I'm so guilty of it. I'll find a couple cases I like to research or want to know more about or whatever, and I'll just go really deep with those, and I'll kind of forget to just pay attention to all the other things that are going on in our world. And, I want to try to talk about a lot of the things that we don't talk about. Hey, Bindi. Did you hear it, you guys? Because it kind of vibrated, like I could hear it when it happened. But Mel says, I'm really liking the morning live stream. Can't always chat because I'm going to school drop off and getting ready for work, but I love to listen to. Thank you. That was my goal. I thought like a place where we could talk about, like I said, the unknown things, the more known things, even true crime related stuff that's not necessarily true crime. Like when documentaries come out and things like that, and give you guys something to listen to, like when you're getting your kids ready, when you're getting ready for work, when you're driving to work, stuff like that. Colorado seems to harbor baby killers. It's interesting because a lot of, there is a lot that happens there, a lot of news coming out of there. I remember years ago, I used to hear it called Killerado on YouTube because so many cases were coming out of there. And now that I think about it, that could be insensitive, but, oh, teacup. I would love to rescue a little bird like that and nurse it back to health. All right, so Colorado mom drugged, fatally shot, and stabbed 2 of her kids before fleeing to the UK. A Colorado mom, and she stabbed the other one. Thank God she survived. But a Colorado mom who is fighting extradition from Britain to the United States allegedly drugged her children and told them to close their eyes before fatally shooting and stabbing 2 of them, a court heard on Wednesday. Days after the lifeless bodies of her children, aged 7 and 9, were found at her home in Colorado Springs, Kimberly Singler was arrested in London on December 30th after flying to the UK. Singler, 36, is resisting American attempts to extradite her on the grounds that her alleged crimes, which she denies, carry an automatic life sentence of life without parole, which her legal team argue is a breach of European human rights law. Article 3 of the European Convention on Human Rights, a legally binding statute followed by 46 countries, including the UK, prohibits inhumane, I think that's supposed to say, or degrading treatment or punishment. Westminster Magistrates Court in central London heard details of how she allegedly killed her children and is then said to have covered up the crimes. The 7 charges she faces, brought by the Colorado Springs Police Department and the FBI, include 2 counts of first-degree murder after deliberation and 2 counts of murder of someone under 12 by a person in a position of trust. She's also charged with the attempted murder of a 3rd child, who was 11, who survived despite serious injuries and was told to lie about the ordeal, the court heard. The surviving child told police the perpetrator was a man who entered the home, but later told a foster carer that her mother was responsible for the attacks. So first, she told police it was a strange man. But later on, she comes clean to foster mom that, no, it was my mom. Can you imagine that poor baby? Singler said that God told her to do it, the court heard. Singler, who will give evidence in the 3-day hearing, spoke only to confirm her name and date of birth. Edward Fitzgerald KC, her attorney, said that she denies the charges against her and insists she is innocent. Joel Smith Casey, the attorney representing the U.S. government, said that the killings happened in the context of an acrimonious custody battle between her and the children's father. Singler had been ordered to transfer them to his custody, but failed to do so. On December 19th, the day after a court order was issued, police responded to an emergency call at her home and found the 2 children dead. She shot the 1st child in the head and stabbed her in the neck. She shot the 2nd child to the head and stabbed her in the neck. She attacked the 3rd child to the neck with a knife, causing serious lacerations. Police found the 2 dead children lying in bed together. And can you imagine the surviving child? First of all, the heartbreak of losing your siblings this way, seeing it happen, the trauma that, like, oh my God, I cannot imagine going through that at my age, much less 11. Then it's done by your mother. Your mom also attacks you, and then you get moved to a foster home, which I'm curious if they were in a custody battle. how that happened. But regardless, what a scary, scary situation for a small 11-year-old child. I know I've had more experience with, kids that are missing mom and things like that. And it's just, I don't know. It's really sad to think about what that little 11-year-old is going through without her siblings, without her mom, the confusion, seeing her mom commit such a violent act, I don't know. It's just so freaking sad. Police found the 2 children in their beds too. My gosh. Investigators also found live rounds and spent cartridges were found in a closet, as well as a gun that had been handled by someone with blood on their hands and a bloodstained knife, the court heard. In the kitchen trash were 2 empty bottles of sleeping pills, Smith said. There had been no sign of a break-in. The surviving child said the defendant had told the 3 children to close their eyes. She guided the first 2 children into the bedroom and approached the 3rd child and told her to close her eyes and then cut her to the side of the neck. Smith argued there was no barrier to Singler being extradited in human rights law because crimes in the U.S. can be commuted by the governor. A life sentence, which Singler is almost certain to receive, should not be a barrier to extradition. In America, there's an executive clemency route that is sufficient. It does not have to be a judicial route, Smith said. Fitzgerald, who also acted for Julian Assange in the long-running extradition case in London, argued it would be unlawful to extradite someone who faces life without parole without considering any mitigating factors. The UK has 63 people under life sentences, while the US has 49,000. It's totally alien to us to say I would sentence you to life without parole simply because of the category of the offense, without considering any of the person's circumstances. Here is a person with her first offense, a devoted mother, who does this out of the blue. Are we to say that this mandatory imposition of this sentence of life without parole would be fine? The hearing is expected to last 3 days. Hell no, send her ass back. I'm sorry, but I don't care. I'd say there's some mental health issues going on here. In a lot of these cases, there probably are. Doesn't make a damn to me. You still need to be punished, and the rest of us need protected from your ass. So, hey, Meg. No, I didn't, Bushi. I missed it. I saw somebody say it was special, but yeah, let me go back, see if I can try to find him. Can't see Woofy. I know PB&J. Absolutely freaking horrific. Degrading. Yeah. I've been waiting to hear updates on this disgusting POS. Trying to find the hummingbird. I found it, Bushi. Being that close to you is a sign that a person that passed is bringing you positive vibes and showing you love. Oh, thank you for that. Interesting. I hope so. My screen froze, but hummingbirds are an inspiring sign of hope and good luck. Hummingbirds can also have a spiritual significance and mean the spirit of a loved one is near. Whew. Well, you guys, most times, hummingbirds will fly away as soon as you move. I've tried to take a million pictures of them. I've got a couple good ones from my mom's porch, but they're very jittery or scared. And this one came right into my face, a foot or a foot and a half away, and just kind of floated there for a second and then flew off. Hey, Lisa, good morning. Mental health or not, she's a murderer. Oh, yeah, Woofy has a different name. Thank you, Pointer Lover. So we're going to follow this one as well. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know. Send her back. It's pretty crazy, though, that people in the UK don't get face life sentences that often. 63, in total. Okay, we have 2 more things I saved to talk about. One thing regarding the Appalachia High School shooting, and one thing regarding John Benet Ramsey that Tess sent. So let me pull those up. Let's talk about this. I posted the text message that he sent to his mom during the shooting. Did you guys see that? Oh, it's just So scary. I can't imagine. There's a lot of stuff concerning with this, but I thought this was interesting. I wanted to read it to you guys. So it comes from Sky News. I think that's an Australian news agency. My stomach's growling. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, though. It does say UK time, so maybe it is a UK thing, but it says Colt Gray, Georgia shooting suspect's mother, called school 30 minutes before attack. Annie Brown, the teenager's aunt, has claimed her sister called the counselor at Appalachia High School half an hour before gunfire broke out. The mother of the Georgia shooting suspect called the school 30 minutes warning of an extreme emergency before he allegedly opened fire, his aunt has claimed. So Colt Gray, 14 years old, he killed 2 students and 2 teachers, wounded several others last Wednesday at a school in Atlanta. Another teacher and 8 other students were injured. So his aunt, Annie Brown, has said her sister called the school counselor half an hour before gunfire broke out. She told the Washington Post the boy's mother warned of an extreme emergency involving her son and that they needed to find him immediately. Phone records shared with the newspaper and later confirmed by the Associated Press show a 10-minute call was made from the family's shared phone plan to the school at that time. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit that's came out now. We see the messages with him talking about, I'm shooting up the school. Someone's dead. I'm sorry. Look. Okay, this may be controversial. Some people may like it. Some people not. We're from West Virginia. My brothers, my kids, getting guns as a Christmas present is really actually a pretty normal thing for a family that likes to hunt and stuff like that. My boys started getting BB guns like when they were very little at Christmas. My dad's bought both of them their first hunting rifle, BB gun, things like that. But here's the thing. I don't give a damn how old that child is. My son's almost 16. Do you think he has any access to any guns? Hell no. Hell no. You keep them in a safe and put up safely. We have talked so many times during true crime news segments about kids who have accidentally shot siblings, accidentally shot themselves, accidentally shot their parents. I understand that hunting is a sport and that it's not going to stop. People really like it. Some people don't get it, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're going to do something like that, you have to be responsible enough to do it the right way. Growing up, we were all taught to respect the power of guns and responsible for owning one, etc. An AR is not a hunting rifle. Who the hell needs a war weapon in your living room? I don't get it. Well, hippie chick, my dad, he owns a gun shop, and he kind of explained to me that some people do use them for hunting. He said AR doesn't necessarily mean none of them are automatic rifles. They're all semi-automatic, but he said that AR is a brand name, so they have many different styles of guns. And sometimes people think it's just one type of gun, but it's actually a brand name. I don't know. I don't see why you would do something like that for hunting, but I do know that some people use them. But I'm with you. Like I said, I don't see why you would need something like that. Regardless, no matter what kind of weapon it is, any gun can be used in this manner. And the facts are that if you're going to get something like that for your kids, it needs to be kept up. And let me tell you what, if your kids start showing signs of going to hurt someone or theirself, why do you even still have them? And certainly, why are they not kept and locked up where the kids can't get them? So, hey, Riley. My brother got a BB gun at Christmas at 4 years old. Well, see, a lot of people, that is what a lot of people think, is that they're not used for hunting and they're only for war. But like I said, I do know that some people do use them, especially if they're I don't even need to get into that. I don't see why they're used for that, but they are. And ARs are a brand name, the same way that Cobar, like Idaho case, is a brand name for different knives. But they do use them to hunt, and AR can most certainly be used to hunt. Yeah. I didn't either. I would have thought that, but yeah, I'm not a gun person either. I know. I understand you guys, because me and Woofy had the same conversation, and that's exactly what she said. Like, what? Why would that be used to hunt? And I think your average person would think that, but then, like, that's what I thought. And then my dad was like, no, they are, you know, so I don't know. A child who exhibits mental health issues does not need access to a firearm. Absolutely. And isn't that common sense? I mean, I don't know. So you know what? I think it's a slippery slope charging parents in these circumstances. But then again, if they're completely negligent like this, I think that you should. It's no different than any hunting gun. It just looks scary to people. Education and safety. Absolutely. Yep. Locked gun cabinets with large caliber weapons were part of my life. That's the worst thing to get them. Yes. Thank you, Rexy. AR is not an assault rifle. You're right, Allie. It stands for Armalite brand name. Regardless, get a gun safe. You know, he used a rifle that bullets of that rifle didn't come out right. My son got a 22 when he was 9, but kept it locked up. Hey, MK. There you go, Amanda. That's so important, is gun safety. This didn't come out of anywhere. This kid has been known to have issues. Meg says, I think all kids have stages of mental illness. Well, okay, hormones. That is so true. When they get to that age, yeah, it can be a little difficult. We have one, but we also don't have small children. I wouldn't have guns in my house when my kids were little. Look, I understand people of all opinions, and I appreciate you guys feeling comfortable to share them. I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't have a lot of thoughts other than if you're going to do hunting as a sport, even collecting guns as a sport, shooting as a sport, gun ranges as a sport, you have to be responsible, period. And that's that. I don't either, Mo. I don't even like when kids point play ones at others. No, I'm not muted. Okay, you guys. I am very glad his father was charged. He knew his son's history. It was just as good as encouraging him to do it. It was me. Mayla's mom says, did you hear about the I-75 shooter in Kentucky on Saturday? I did. So I don't know a lot of the details, but I think he's been found, right? The FBI knew a year before. Yeah, you guys are all right. It's just unbelievable. I know you are, Woofy. Hormones are intense. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about, yeah, and I mentioned you actually, and us talking about it, but the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, Tess sent me this. So John Benet Ramsey. John Benet Ramsey's dad says male DNA on, how do you say that word? I don't know how to say it. Still hasn't been tested. I don't know why. New TV series, True Crime News. What? A new TV series called True Crime News debuts on Monday, September 9th, with host Anna Garcia kicking off the season with an exclusive interview with John Ramsey. Well, there goes our True Crime News. John Ramsey says he doesn't understand why police have never tested DNA from an unidentified male used to strangle his daughter, John Benet Ramsey, on the... What do you call that, you guys? Because I don't want to say it wrong. Garrote. Garrote. Thank you, guys. So he doesn't understand why police have never tested DNA from an unidentified male on the garrote used to strangle his daughter, JonBenet, who was found murdered in the basement of their Colorado home in 1996. I don't know why they didn't test it in the beginning. Ramsey tells host Anna Garcia on the new series True Crime News, which is making its television debut on Monday, September 9th. To my knowledge, it still hasn't been tested, he says. If they're testing it and just not telling me, that's great, but I have no reason to believe that. So in True Crime News' new syndicated TV series on Fox-owned station, Garcia, the host of True Crime News, the podcast, goes in depth on some of the country's most infamous true crime stories, as well as lesser-known local cases. Wow, that's freaking awesome. In his debut single, the Emmy Award-winning journalist talks to Ramsey about his daughter, JonBenet, who is 6 years old when she was found sexually assaulted, beaten, and strangled with a garrote on the day after Christmas in 1996. The high-profile murder of the tiny beauty pageant queen remains unsolved. I still remember seeing her face all over the magazines at the store when I was little. So I think I must have been like around the same age as her. I know I was 7 in 1996. So I remember being little and seeing this little girl, so beautiful, on all the magazine covers. And it's just so sad that it's still not been solved. What do you guys think? Do any of you have any opinions on it? During the interview, Ramsey tells Garcia that he and his family simply want answers about what happened to his daughter. We're not asking you to clear us or apologize or be nice to us again, he says. Just do the things that you should do that can be done. If you do that and we don't get an answer, we tried. We did everything we could do. Ramsey tells Garcia, we've had unidentified male DNA from January 1997, and this one prosecutor told me I've never, ever seen a police department try to explain away unidentified male DNA in an SA case. There are at least 7 items that are considered critical evidence that have never been tested. So they're 30-minute episodes. Each 30-minute episode of True Crime News offers a compelling and comprehensive look into the world of true crime. The new series will air 52 weeks a year and will cover breaking news stories as well. From urgent calls to action for runaway criminals and missing persons to heart-stopping caught-on-cam moments, the show delivers a daily dose of riveting narratives that keep viewers on the edge of their seats, the release states. The Boulder Police Department did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. Let's click on this True Crime News, see what other information I can get on that. That'll be interesting to keep up with some topics that are currently happening. And if they're going to be making a point to cover like local, smaller, unknown cases, that's freaking awesome. So here's the website, truecrimenews.com. Coming to TV September 9th. Newlyweds accused of fatally running over groomsmen following wedding after party. Missing Long Island woman found deceased stuffed in a suitcase. I saw that. Founder of nonprofit for kids with disabilities accused of sexually abusing minors since 2010. Wow, another one. Founder of a nonprofit for kids with freaking disabilities. Jesus Christ. Woman arrested 17 years after her friend's beheaded remains were found in black bag. Wow. Let's watch that. Let's look at that, So this will be interesting. I'm going to try to watch it some. No, you're not old, TK in Texas. Today is September 9th, so it premieres today. I wonder if the police department doesn't have funds. Baby Allie. Well, I think I'm getting there. I just turned 35. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a peen, but firearms are a big part of my income, and people's understanding of them have been so twisted by the media, it's unreal. No, MK, you're fine. Never a gun in my apartment. I'm so interested in washing Bushi says. Oh, no, Woofy, I didn't mention this. So just back to the Appalachia High School shooting. Wolfie and I, when we were discussing this the other day, she was saying, like, how did he get to the school with this gun without somebody noticing? And then she found a picture, like a screenshot that was in a video or something, that showed the gun on the floor of the school. And it was a big gun. So, it wasn't, of course it was a bigger gun. It's a rifle. But I'm just saying, that's a good question. That's true, JD. JD says, rock in a hard spot. If you need a weapon to protect yourself, do you think the threat will wait while you get to and open your safe? No, not necessarily, but I think it doesn't matter when you have little kids. You have to keep them put up, or kids, because especially with mental health issues, who have made threats like this. Have a great day, MK. I know, Mayla's mom. Lisa, happy birthday. Happy 44th birthday. All right, I think we'll look at this and then I'll let you guys go. But we went through a ton of different stuff, and I'm glad we found out about this true crime news show, because I do want to point out when new documentaries, like I said, or shows or things like that are happening. Woman arrested 17 years after her friend's beheaded remains were found in a black bag. Officials recently arrested a woman on suspicion of concealing her friend's death and using her identity to steal benefits. According to the sheriff's office, on the morning of December 6, 2007, deputies responded to the corner of Whitfield and Stitcher Roads, where they found a body in a burning black bag. The hands, feet, and head were reportedly missing. Investigators submitted DNA to this forensic lab in 2023 for analysis and genealogy testing. The results were sent to GBI after that for comparison. As a result, the sheriff's office said on December 13, 2023, investigators positively identified the victim as 24-year-old Nicole Alston of Manhattan, New York. Can you imagine, after that long, from 2007 to 2023? According to deputies, family members informed officials that Alston had left New York with her friend Angel to move to Atlanta, and they last heard from the victim in late November 2007. Authorities said Thompson was wanted in New York at the time for alleged theft and identity fraud. Deputies alleged that after the discovery of Alston's remains, Thompson began identifying herself as Alston, and for nearly 8 years collected supplemental security income benefits, food stamps, and Section 8 housing, all while posing as the victim. The total estimated amount of the fraud is around $200,000. Wow. According to the sheriff's office, the Social Security Administration asked her to requalify for benefits in person in 2015, and that's when she reassumed her own identity. Authorities arrested her on August 19th on a charge of concealing a death. Officials have not yet identified a suspect in her actual death. Wow. Well, obviously, come on. She had to be part of it. Because if you thought she just ran away or left, you wouldn't be taking her identity to use it for food stamps. Section 8 housing? Like, you're even getting a house in her name? Wow. You guys. I don't know. All right, I'm going to have a cigarette with y'all and chit-chat before I go. What are your plans for today? What do you think happened to John Benet? Are you going to be following Kimberly Singler's stuff or any of these cases? Little Chance Crawford, what a beautiful, sweet little boy. My God. Beat with a piece of lumber by a prophet and preacher who wasn't at the church anymore because of womanizing, but over an accident. I don't get it, you guys. It's screwed up. Pure evil, ain't that right, Carol? I have weapons in my home and young kids. Almost fell. They are out of reach of my boys, but I have had a home invasion. I will protect my family if need be. There you go, Riley. Well, I don't see anything wrong with that. My dog is my first line of defense. I am also a gun owner, but believe we need stricter gun laws. You know, I think there are a lot of things that can be done that would be pretty simple. Most people are in favor of, like background checks, mental health stuff, you know, things like that. I don't know, though. I know it's a tough subject to get into. Rambo is crying at the door to come outside with me. He's not in a cage. He's just free in the house, you know, sitting there crying. I gotta get off and let him out after I smoke and chat with you guys. Oh, that's right, Rando. Thank you for reminding me. Let me get the link. Rando had asked me to share this link. So she is doing this contest. Here, let me grab it and then I'll give you, because I don't want to give any misinformation. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. I wonder if my wax melts are coming today. I ordered some wax melts from Nay. She released some new ones. Here, let me drop her link. If you haven't checked out her melts, they are fabulous, for real. I'm not just saying that because I love Nay. They just really are. All right, so let me get this link for Rando and read it to you, and then I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Okay. She says, I am in the Face of Horror contest that benefits Starlight Children's Foundation. You can vote free once a day. I wanted to ask if you'd mention it in the chat. Let's see. I put the link on my YouTube account description with my IG too that has it pinned. It has info on why I ended up working in homicide, so curious people may just like to see who I am. The true crime community are a curious, nosy bunch. So it may be cool to see, you know, get to know another chat member. I was limited on characters, or I would have included even more crazy life facts. I think most of us have them drawn to true crime. I just don't want to read anything that's... Odds are very small. Right now, I'm in 7th place. So, all right, I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. Give me just 1 second to copy it. I voted. I'm going to vote again. You guys make sure to read it. It's really sweet little message on her profile. Oh, they are, Christina. My wax melts are coming today. I'm so excited. Hippie Chick, I'm very much enjoying my most recent package. I think it's so hard for me because I've always wanted to open it like on camera, because Nay does such a great job with packaging. But as soon as I get them, I'm so excited that usually I just open them and I'm like, I'll take a picture along the way and share that. You're in 2nd now? But as soon as I get them, whoa. Oh, I do not like hearing my own voice like that. All right, so I'm dropping it in the chat right now. You're in 2nd place. Oh, I really hope you win. Maybe we can help her get there, because I know she's going to do something special with her daughter if she does. And yeah, I would love to help you get there. I should have some of the new melts arriving tomorrow. I am so excited for the new apple one. It sounds really good. It's like apple, but mixed with maybe vanilla and leather. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it looks really good. Nay was trying to, she knows I love the winter candy apple Wolf Moon. It's one of my most favorites. Claus actually sent me a few boxes of them, and thank God I still have like one left, and they sent me a couple of what she had left, I think, in this order, like some samples, because she can't find that oil again. So she had to come up with another one that, you know, she thought was comparable, similar, and I can't wait to get it. Oh, look, voted for you, girl. That's awesome. Alicia says, to be honest, I have depression and anxiety, and I don't think I could get a something card. What do you mean, babe? Hey, Queen Bella. I always thought it was Benet Ramsey's death. I had always thought Benet Ramsey's death was someone inside the home. I do have a small amount of space in my head that it could have been someone else that had access to their home. I think a lot of people thought that. I think there are some interesting things with her brother. Nay should do a new melt called Save Me after the Eminem and Jelly Roll song in honor of addicts. Well, she might be listening in the background while she's working or something, but if not, I'm going to take a picture and show her your comment. It says first place now. Yay. Oh, Rando, that's freaking awesome. I have a whole stash of Wolf Moon. Well, that's the last of it, babe, because there ain't no more of that oil. I had a whole stash, but I've made my way through it, so. And sent some to you, remember, Jen? Because Jen loves apple, too. I knew she would love that. Yay, Nay! There you are. Oh, I love my Nay. Yeah, I'm going to drop her link again. You guys check it out. She does an awesome job. Can't wait to get them. Lisa, here, let me drop her the link one more time to vote in the chat. Jen. Well, maybe we'll love the new one just as much. That's funny. Nay pops up with the ghost emoji. All right, you guys. Well, I know Jen and I, I'm not going to speak for Jen, but I will say we've been reluctant to finish these calls that had already been put out. We've also been waiting on new calls. But I told Jen, Neat had made the point during a discussion that we had that, people are expecting those. We need to do them. So I think we're going to plan a time and a day this week to do that. Also, as soon as the new calls come, we'll put them out. Let me know, though, are you guys still interested in hearing the rest of Letitia's calls? We have a whole entire month we haven't received yet that Jen and I paid for. And we have like a few video visits and some other calls that we have to finish, too. I think, taking a break and talking about so many other cases and then all the crap that happens surrounding those calls and those files, it's kind of been like a downer, and it's almost made me lose a little bit of interest in it. But let me know if you guys still want to do it, and we need to get back to it. So Nay says, okay, back to getting ready to go get my work day over with. We have a possible hurricane coming. Oh, no, Nay. We'll have a great day, and yeah, thank you for everything. Yes, more calls now. Yes, Jen, Allie speaks correctly. I feel the same way. Sometimes I get in my feels when things bring back negative memories. Yeah, and it's just been, I don't know, but I'm still interested. Yes, I'm interested. Since you ladies already paid for them, we might as well listen to them. Okay. Well, thank you, guys. Hobo, hell yes. Christina. Carol says, my youngest son has been clean for 5 years, has a gorgeous baby girl, new car, bought his own bread route and box truck. Oh, that's awesome, Carol. All right, you guys. Well, we'll get to chatting about that, and I'm going to let you guys go. Yeah, we still have video visits, too. Well, I think we've taken quite a little break, Teacup, so maybe we should get back to it. I don't want to slack. I told Jen, I can't be on super late. These morning shows are important to me, even though they may not be what most people are interested in or whatever. I really want to be consistent with it, and I want to do it to be here with you guys, talk you through. I know for me, when I'm up getting the kids ready for school and stuff, I love to have something to listen to. So I just wanted to do that, and not just the same old, big cases over and over, the same stuff. I want to do it different and try to keep talking about the things that matter. And I'm not judging anybody who does anything else. Everybody, there's space for everyone, here. It's just what I want to do. It's important to me. So we'll make plans for that. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for voting for Rando. Thank you for everything. Sending the birthday wishes to Lil Red and Lisa. And, yeah, I appreciate you guys. I may see you later. Maybe we'll do some calls later. Maybe we'll do something else. I know Jen has some Dable stuff. We're going to work it out. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Alicia, speaking of her wax melts, and we just spoke about that. So I'm going to post a giveaway for a box of fall wax melts. The giveaway is going to close on September the 16th. We'll do 1 week. I'm going to post a giveaway on the community tab for wax melts. Everybody can enter because sometimes we do members. I've done Patreon ones. I want to do everybody a box of fall wax melts. All you have to do is leave a comment under that post. The box will ship out, or I'll order it on the 21st. And then whenever, it ships. But I'll order it on the 21st. It's going to close in about a week. So maybe you can win one. Make sure to check it out and leave a comment under the giveaway. And then, yeah, thank you guys for everything. I hope you have a lovely day. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, yes. Thank you, Nate. US only, though. And I'm sorry, which honestly, depending on where you're at otherwise, if you so I hate to do that, like, because I have shipped boxes out, like I could have Nay send it to me and then I could ship something. It's just some countries are very, very expensive. So I'll work it out and get all the details together. It'll be in the post, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Usually what I've done is I'll just place the order and have the delivery address like in the order, and it'll go straight from Nay to you. And if that's the way we do it, we have to do it US only. And maybe that's what we'll do. And then I'll work out a way that I could open it to everyone and ship it from Nay to me. And then I could ship it to you guys. I'll think of something that we can do like that. I also have one more idea I just want to mention. So we had talked about like taking up books for like a book drive for Jocelyn the Nun Gray. She loved to read. And I was thinking, it reminded me of Maddie too. She was a young girl. Like, maybe there's something that we can do. There's an underprivileged school that's really close to me. It's just, there's a lot of people in low poverty there, and the school is, they had to move the elementary school into the middle school. They're trying to build a new school. It's going to take a couple of years. It's just like not a great area. And maybe there's something I can do where I can get a post office box and have you guys send books if you want. And then I could take them all together down there, like in memory of those girls or something like that. I don't know. But if you have any ideas for that, let me know. Leave it down below. I would appreciate that so much. And then, let me see, where's it at, Bendy? Use pirate ship. It's much less expensive. Ooh, I'll look into that. Thank you, Mayla's mom. Did you leave the comment in here, Jen? I'm going back further to look. Yeah, Allie and I have spoken and vowed to keep it right and tight and not off in the weeds. Yes, we're going to try to stay on topic. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for being here. No, Nay, I don't want you to do that. I love you and appreciate you just for everything you've already done for all of us and me, for real. We'll talk about it, and I'll make a post. I can't let you do that, because part of the reason I love to do giveaways like with you is because I want to support you and your business. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll talk about it. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you guys for everything. No, me too, Jen. And all right, we will talk more about it and work out all the details. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.